Like so many entrepreneurs, I'm drawn to the glamorous, gorgeous, larger-than-life, iconic ideas and outcomes that represent success. I'm amazed at just what it takes to truly be a standout, a rock star, a millionaire, a trendsetter. It ain't easy, but somebody's got to do it. So why not you? I know it takes hard work and hustle to make things happen, but I also believe it's a matter of heart. We can manifest our greatest desires with a little less sweat equity and a little more divine guidance, plus be equally inspired by someone else's life story. I'm Darieth Chisolm. I'm here to help you unleash, unlock, and bloom your dreams in business and in life. I'm a speaker, author, entrepreneur, life and business coach, media personality, and video podcast host. Every week, my team and I uncover dynamic, authentic, heartfelt conversations to help you leverage tools and resources, make more money, live the lifestyle of your dreams, become a rock star, and love your journey. Linda Nyman and Sandy Cindrich, thanks so much for being a part of Hustle and Heart TV.
Thank you.
So glad to have you ladies on the show. I guess I should say the lager ladies, or as you are sometimes affectionately known.
Yes.
That's because of this incredible line of beer that you have here at Penn Brewery. Tell me how it is being two women in the draft craft beer industry.
It's very exciting. We have a lot of fun with this business. We have faced a lot of challenges, but it is certainly something I think that Linda and I both take a lot of pride in is being women in this industry because it is so very unique to what we do.
Absolutely. We do get asked a lot whether we've ever experienced any discrimination or any sort of different treatment because we're women. And pleasantly, I have to say that that has not been the case. It's been actually quite easy to move into this industry. And I think a lot of that has to do with just the mentality of the craft beer world. It's very open, it's very creative, it's very young, and it does not have a lot of baggage or preconceived ideas about who should be doing it and who shouldn't be. So it's been very, very comfortable and, as Sandy said, a lot of fun.
And I assume you're paving the road for other female entrepreneurs who might want to get into the craft beer industry.
Yes, I would say surprisingly. It was something I think when we got into this business, there were far less females in the industry than there are now. And something as we kind of made our journey through the last 6 years here, that we've seen more women in the industry, and kind of a surprise. It wasn't something that I was personally expecting. It was really just about running the business and making the business successful and not really knowing how much we were going to impact female entrepreneurs along the way.
How important is that?
It's very important. I'm happy that I can help other people, and I have learned so much from other women, both in this industry and other industries. It's been great for making contacts and just meeting other women who are also making their journey.
Let's talk about the backstory here, because it's a pretty interesting one. It's not like this is your background.
No, we did not start out in this industry.
Took a dive into the beer industry, and it really wasn't where you came from. So
Not at all.
Talk about how that happened.
Not at all. Actually, it happened by accident. We had been in corporate life in our prior careers, and our husbands at the time, along with our third business partner, Corey Little, had an electronic medical records and billing services business. And they had outgrown their office space, and they were looking for new space. Were shown the building that sits above the brewery. And it wasn't right for their needs, but a few months later they received a phone call asking, how would you like to buy a brewery? The folks involved with the North Side Leadership Conference who helped us get into this business had thought we might make appropriate owners, and we said yes. And that is how it happened.
What prompted the yes? I mean, outside of the fact that clearly you had some support from the North Side business group, as well as
Yes.
from your husbands, and
Yes.
of course the encouragement of other people who would want to see this start. But there had to be when you went to bed at night, when you decided on yes, what was that thing?
I'd say for me it was just about the fact that I was ready for a change from what I was doing, and it was the chance to be part of Penn Brewery, the legacy of Pittsburgh, and bringing it back to the greatness that it was and making it even better. And just having that opportunity to me was something that was just really difficult to pass up.
Yeah, and for me, a little bit different story. I am a lifelong marketing manager, and I've always worked in consumer products. So when the opportunity came along to own my very own consumer brand and a Pittsburgh icon, no less, that was an opportunity I could not pass up. And I'm still loving that aspect of it.
Do you feel like it fell into your laps?
Yes, I think it was destined to be.
Absolutely, yeah.
Had you had close relationships prior to that, in terms of working and building and thinking about putting a business plan together?
Not at all. I mean, our husbands had, of course, the history in their business, and Linda and I had known each other through them, but never had really worked together as business partners. So the fact that things have, I think, worked out as well as they have, and our personalities, we get along very well, is really just a bonus to everything else that we're doing.
Yeah, what are the dynamics between the two? Who handles what, and how do you do that?
It's great, I think, and this is what makes the partnership, well, really amongst the three partners, work so well, is that we each come from a different area of business expertise. Sandy's background is in project management and IT, mine is in marketing, and our additional partner, Corey's, is in IT. And so we each work on different pieces of the business, and I think that works really well. We stay out of each other's way, but we always meet just to get that check off. Are you okay with this? Yes, no.
Right.
That's a good team.
It's very good.
It is.
Very
Like
good.
Linda said, we very nicely complement each other with our skills.
So let's talk about the line of beer. And clearly you've made it a point to make Penn Brewery stand out with a selection of beers, but you're looking at doing a few different interesting things in the months to come as well.
Yes, we still hold to our German roots mostly. We are traditionally a German-style brewery, and that is still our core line of beers and what we brew. But as the craft market is changing and people's tastes are changing, we've had to adapt as well. So we've, over the years, added several new styles of beer to our line, including a pumpkin beer for the fall, a nut roll ale, which is now out for the winter, which are both spiced beers, very good. And then we do some things in the spring and just change it up a little bit, but we always stay true to who we are with our German styles, and always kind of look to fall back on that when we're doing some different things. We have some exciting things coming up in 2016 for our 30th anniversary, but I'm not going to say just what yet because they haven't come to fruition yet, but they will hold true to our German heritage.
Sure. And it's very, very important, as Sandy said, to stay in touch with what consumers want and what the marketplace wants. The beer industry has changed so much just over the last few years, even since we've owned the business, and it's all about novelty and exciting new flavors, but at the core, our brand essence is a good, solid, well-made German beer, and so we have to keep that balance.
And how do you go about determining a new selection of beer? Is it a taste testing, and when you have it, you should invite me?
You are invited.
Of course.
Yes.
But how's that process?
We receive input really from what we're hearing in the trade from consumers. We always look up in the trends, what's going on, what are other breweries doing, what's working, what's not working. We hear a lot of great feedback from our sales team as to what people might be looking for, and then finally from our brewing team as well as to what they think might be new and exciting and stuff that they're interested in brewing as well.
And one of the wonderful benefits of this particular industry is that we have the opportunity to experiment and play, and our brewers can make a small batch of a beer that they're interested in. We can serve it in the restaurant and get a feel for what people really like, and then we at that point can decide to invest and make a packaged beer.
And that is so important, listening to your customers and what their responses are in helping you to make that decision.
Yes.
Because it's great if the industry is moving in one direction and if other beer makers are finding success, but if it doesn't fly here in this area of Pittsburgh,
right,
absolutely,
right.
Absolutely, the customer is the king.
Yes. Yes.
Wonderful. Well, we had the opportunity while we're here to take in a little Punxsutawney Phil and his handlers as well as the inner circle. So we've got to talk about why it is that they're here enjoying lunch and what that will look like in the months to come. I want to talk more about that because I think it's fun to be able to create the opportunity and experience for other people as you continue to grow your company. We've got that and more straight ahead. Have you considered how podcasting and video podcasting can help you build your brand, influence, and income? Thousands of podcasters are enjoying the wonderful benefits of being able to closely connect with their audience, find their ideal clients and customers. And if that's what you'd like to do, I'd love to help. Schedule a free discovery call with me, and I can help walk you through the process of developing your own podcast show. If combining videos is what you're looking to do, fantastic. We'll have a great time doing that as well. You can simply go out to podcastingandyou.com to access my calendar and schedule a free complimentary discovery session with me. You can also give me a phone call at 305-320-8143, and we'll talk about all of the ways that podcasting and video podcasting can help you in business and building your brand.
The award-winning Savoy restaurant has become synonymous with fine dining, upscale ambiance, and a great destination for local and national celebrities to enjoy the night in style. The Savoy has won multiple Savor Pittsburgh awards for its delicious menu. Our wine list was awarded Wine Spectator's 2012 Award of Excellence, and the Savoy has also won the American Institute of Architects' People's Choice Award for its beautiful architecture and design. For dinner reservations and more info, log on to savoypgh.com.
Hello, this is Punxsutawney Phil, and we're the Punxsutawney Groundhog Club Inner Circle, and you're watching
Hustle and Art TV with Darieth Chisolm.
It's really fun. When you let the brewers go and you don't tell them do this or do that, I mean, it's their playtime, and they love that. And
It lets them be creative.
Yes.
Absolutely.
And that's
Yes,
so
absolutely.
important whenever you're making anything, whether you're a chef or a beer maker.
Right.
You want the freedom to
Absolutely.
do that.
Right.
Absolutely.
So much so that when you determined to create this nut roll,
Yeah.
it came about from a very interesting process.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How so?
We were looking for something different for our Christmas beers. We had thought, what makes sense? What is a good Pittsburgh, Western Pennsylvania style beer that stays true to the holidays? And we thought, well, everything that we do here, everybody, when you go to their homes, they have the nut roll. So we thought, wow, that would be an interesting take on a Christmas beer. So we had actually, when thinking about this, had gone to a bunch of local bakeries, brought back a bunch of different nut roll styles and samples, and had tasted them and said, okay, kind of here's what we would like this to taste like, and sort of then sent that off to our brew team and said, here's what we're looking for, what can you come up with? And we ended up with our nut roll ale, which is delicious.
Exactly, and this theme continues to some degree in the restaurant with our desserts, because we introduced the Pittsburgh cookie table tradition, a little mini cookie plate to tie into the Pittsburgh tradition of the wedding cookie table. So.
What a great way to keep it in the community.
Yes.
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 See, women, we like our sweets.
Yes.
So this is why you see this in a female-owned brewery. Yes.
Well, whether we're talking about bringing in nut rolls to help create and craft a new beer, or bringing in Punxsutawney Phil
Yes.
and his inner circle, tell me about that, because that's an interesting collaboration.
Well, we were actually approached by the folks at the Groundhog Club up in Punxsutawney, and they said, we are interested in coming up with a beer to honor the groundhog tradition. And we had a get together, and we started to do a little brainstorming, and we talked about what the beer might taste like, how we would market it, and I won't get into too many details, so I don't want to spoil the surprise, but suffice it to say, this is all about a Western Pennsylvania tradition that will really highlight the importance of Phil to the community, and we'll have a lot of fun with it along the way. And Phil will be out in the market helping us sell that beer.
Do you find that having fun is your way to repentance, the way to get through it when the challenges arise?
Absolutely.
Definitely.
Yeah. Because it is beer, but it is a business and has to be run as such. But we do try and keep in mind that it is beer, it should be fun, and really any problems that present themselves, we really just try and work through it and keep it in perspective as to who we are and what we're doing and where we want to be.
That's what makes this business fun, and I always say this sounds very cliched, but it's a fun business because it makes people happy. And there aren't a lot of businesses where you can just see people consuming your product with a big smile. They just really love it.
Well, you're drinking beer.
That's right. That's right.
I mean, you may come in with worries on your mind.
Right.
That's right.
With you when you're out the door.
That's right.
Have a smile on your face.
That's right.
You know.
And we like making people happy, so.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
What are those some of the challenges that you face? I can imagine just in the early years in terms
Yes,
of
we
acquisition
had.
and turnaround.
Yes, I'd say from a business standpoint, when we had bought into the brewery, it was the restaurant was closed and the beer was no longer being made in Pittsburgh. So when we had bought in, things were really on the downturn. So our challenge is, I'd say we're numerous. We were financially, we needed to get finances to bring the brewing operations back to Pittsburgh, to buy equipment, to help pay down debt. The beer was being outsourced. It wasn't made in the North Side any longer. So we brought all the brewing operations back here. We're very fortunate to get our brew staff back that was here before the brewery had closed. And then the restaurant had closed as well. So when we had bought into the brewery, we had a number of problems to overcome. And along those lines, that the beer that was in the market that was outsourced, the quality had declined from what it was when it was here. So not only did we have to bring everything back here to Pittsburgh operationally, we had to bring back all the beer from the trade and get people to understand that things were being brewed here again, that our brew staff was back, and that the quality of the beer is what it should be.
That's right. I think, unfortunately, the brand had disappointed a lot of people because physically, when you change the location of beer production, the taste of the beer will change because the water is different. And therefore, we had to regain trust. So in a way, it was more challenging than starting a business from the ground up because we had to correct some things that had gone wrong and then move on from there. So I would say the first few years, really, we were just sort of in fix-it mode.
I would assume you also had to rely on the team of people whose palate understood the beer,
Yes.
and who also understood the industry. Only because you came from different industries.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely.
But the intimacy around beer.
Yes.
Meant
Absolutely.
relying on a team of other people who knew that.
Yeah.
Absolutely, yes. And that's why we were so fortunate to get our brewing team back because they were so near and dear to that product. And I think one of the key lessons we've learned along the way is the best thing you can do to manage is find people who are really good at their respective jobs and get out of their way.
Yes.
So.
That is A1 business advice. I'm
Yes.
going to ask people to share with us what are some key tips, key strategies, and the number one principles around running business. And as you point out, having a good team, having good people is so very important.
Yes.
Yes.
And I would add to that too, I would not have undertaken this as a solo operation. To me, it was so, and it still is, so comforting to have business partners because you never feel like you're in it alone.
Right.
There is always somebody there to lean on. And from a very practical standpoint, it allows you to be able to take vacations. So we like that.
That's true.
So now we transition into the whole balance part.
Yes.
And vacations. How's that working for you?
Surprisingly, it does.
Yeah. I mean, as we said, things have calmed down after the first couple of years. We got things back on track. We have a strong management team in place. So one of the, obviously the responsibilities of running your own business and needing to be available and needing to be here, but it allows you the flexibility to sort of set your own schedule. So if you need a day off, you don't really need to answer to anybody. You just schedule your day off and schedule around it. So from that perspective, even though there's the responsibility of being a business owner, as Linda had mentioned, we share that responsibility and we have flexibility in our schedule, which I think is a huge help.
Huge help. I mean, we're frankly doing a lot at home. We'll email each other from home, but that's not a problem. It works out very, very well for us.
Finding balance is so very important, particularly for women in business, women who are mothers, other caregivers, maybe have other jobs and they're trying to start a business while they're still working. What would be your advice to someone who's really juggling and handling a lot and looking for the opportunity at least to have some self-care, some downtime, some balance?
Yeah, I would just really say that just to make sure you do leave time for yourself and set your priorities and understand that you can't take on everything at once And if it becomes overwhelming, just sort of lay everything in front of you and figure what you need to tackle now and what can wait until later. Because I know sometimes it's crazy things like when I get home and there's cleaning and there's laundry, and well, you know what's really more important, that I take a few minutes for myself, the laundry can get done tomorrow. Prioritize, I would say.
Right. I would agree, prioritization is key. I also firmly believe, despite the line about having it all, I don't think you can have it all at the same time. And I think we all make conscious decisions as to what we're going to give up in our life at this point. For example, for me, main priorities in my life now are my family, my work, and my health. Unfortunately, that means I don't have as much social time with friends as I would otherwise like. I don't have as much time for hobbies as I would like. But my hope is that those will come later in life. So it's about giving yourself a break if you can't fit it all in.
Yeah, really, really good advice. And we want to encourage you to please share this episode. It's really easy through social media. You can grab the link if you're watching online and let your friends and family know about this and our great conversation. You can also, if you're watching on YouTube, please subscribe. If you're listening on iTunes, I would encourage you to subscribe and rate and review the show. And if you're not in our database, 2 easy ways to do that. You can simply go to hustleandhearttv.com, leave your name and your email address, and that way we will email you episodes weekly from other inspiring, successful entrepreneurs. You can also simply use your cell phone and text 33444 and then enter Hustle and Heart, all one word. Again, the number to text 33444 and enter Hustle and Heart, and then you're added to the database. We've got more with Linda and Sandy when we come back. Stay with us.
I want to give a huge thank you to all of our sponsors and advertisers for Hustle and Heart TV. Thank you so much for supporting the show. It means so very much. And I'd also like to extend an invitation to you if you've got a product or service that you'd like to put in front of our amazing audience. Simply request a media kit to look at the varying sponsor opportunities that we have for the show by sending me an email at info@dariethchisolm.com. That's info@dariethchisolm.com. I'll be sure to email you a media kit to schedule a time to talk about ways that we can position your product or service in front of our amazing audience.
Are you looking for a career that pays great money, working with a fun group of people? I know, sounds too good to be true, right? Hi, I'm Troy Miles of the Miles Group.
We will train you, help you get your license, even supply leads. No cold calling.
I've been here 2 years and earned 6 figures this year.
I love my job.
I love the freedom and being my own boss.
If you would like to work among friends, have a great time, and make good money, call us.
Find out more at tmilesgroup.com.
Hi, I'm Naomi Homison, owner of the Pittsburgh Juice Company, where we make juice that's delicious and nutritious. We'll see you on the next episode of Hustle and Heart TV with Darieth Chisolm.
So one of the great things about having your own video podcast show and the opportunity to take cameras off the sticks and into a great brew house is the ability to do it. So we decided to talk a little bit further in the brew house. So what goes on here?
This is where it all starts. This is where the grain and the water and the hops are all introduced into the brewing process. What you see behind us are our 2 brewing kettles. This is our mash tun, and that is essentially where the process starts. It's almost like making oatmeal. And when that portion of the process is done, what is called the wort, the hot liquid, is the end result, and then that will go on through the rest of the brewing process. It will be chilled, will be sent to the fermentation cellar, yeast will be added, and I could go on and on. But that is how beer is made.
And then at the end of the day, you get a really good beer to drink.
Right.
These were here when you came back to take ownership.
Yes.
Yeah? Did they require a lot of work, or were you able to pretty much get them up and functioning?
They were pretty much up and functioning. It had been about a year since they were used, so it was just some maintenance, replacement parts. But the core here in the brew house was pretty much the only thing that we had functional when we bought the brewery.
Yes, and we owe some of that to the fact that these kettles that you see actually go down one more floor. There are holes cut into the floor. These would have been very difficult to get out, so they stayed.
Yeah,
fortunately
right,
for
fortunately.
us. Yes.
The only thing left, yes.
Very good. Now, I see. Well, I assume these are made here. Do you actually use those, or are they just on hand as a
No, we are using those. Those are barrels from Wiggle Whiskey. We were very fortunate. They have their barrel house right around the corner from us now, so we have a great partnership with them. And they are used for some of the beers in there, and they become barrel aged. They put them in there for about 4 to 6 weeks, and it brings out a unique flavor in each beer that is in there.
Great collaboration with North Side.
Yes.
Yeah, very good. Absolutely. So let's go ahead and take us on a tour. We'll step into the bottling room. Sure. And then I want to talk about too, just the difference between beer and wine drinkers. Sure. Quite frankly, I'm more of a wine drinker than a beer drinker, although I do love good beer.
Yes.
Do you find that most of your customers are solid beer drinkers, or are they a little bit of both?
I think we get more solid beer drinkers, that we maybe get the wine drinker that comes along with them, which is a good chance for the wine drinker to maybe try craft beers. We have some other offerings as well, some unique drinks that we actually make with our beers that may be more appealing to a wine drinker, somebody that actually does not like beer but can have a mixed drink with beer as well.
Okay, great. So it pretty much all starts in here and then ends up in the bottle.
Yes.
Yes.
What
What is called the fermentation cellar, and this is the first step in the chilling process. And here the beer is cooled. Depending on the particular variety of beer, it may be left in a very short time or a very long time. This is also the point in the process where the yeast is introduced.
So where it actually becomes alcohol.
Correct. This is the fun part.
Right. And this is the bottling line. This is where, as you said, the beer ends. We have the bottles that start here from the pallet. They come down the conveyor belt. Our labels are self-adhesive, so they go through the labeling machine where we put on our body labels and our neck labels. Into the bottling line where the bottles are rinsed, and then we call pre-evac, where it sucks out all of the oxygen so it doesn't affect the quality of the beer before it's filled. There's a filler in the middle, and then after it's filled, you'll see the beer is foaming over just a little bit. Again, that's so no oxygen gets in it, where it's immediately capped and then comes off and put into cases.
You want to turn this back, so this is really the exciting part.
It really is. It really is.
It's where it all comes to life. It's finalized, it comes off the line.
That's right. Yes.
This is one of the pieces of equipment we had to repurchase when we bought the brewery. There was nothing in this room when it reopened except for these tanks here. So any equipment that's in here we had to purchase to start bottling beer, which we did in about May of the following year after we had bought it. So we've made some changes along the way, tried to become a little more automated. We're still a very manual bottle shop. We get our bottles in a bulk truck. They come in, we send them down the conveyor belt where they get labeled. We use pressure-sensitive labels, meaning they just roll through and they stick right on. We don't need glue or anything. And then through the bottling line, where they're rinsed, the oxygen is pulled out of them, they are filled, and then when they come out of the filler, they're foaming over slightly where the cap is put on, again, to keep oxygen out of the bottles and to keep the beer fresh, and then they're manually packed into cases.
Well, what I'd love to do is maybe head back into another room just for the sake of sound.
Okay.
Anybody who's watching or listening at this point, you're hearing a lot of what's going on in the bottle room, but a couple more questions I'd love to get answers to before we wrap the show, so let's head into the other room.
Okay.
All right, and we are now back in the restaurant, and things have changed a bit. But that's okay, because lunchtime is over, and we had an opportunity at least to tour the facility, so thank you very much.
You're welcome.
We're coming in for a close here, and before we wrap, I would love for you to just share with our viewers really good final piece of information around going after your dreams and living the life that you truly desire.
I'd say over the years I've learned don't be afraid. Don't be afraid to try. If you fail, it's okay. At least you know if you've at least tried, you can be successful, and don't give up. You know, don't be afraid to step outside your comfort zone.
Right. And my piece of advice would be, when you get feedback from others, know yourself. Take the pieces that are important, but don't let negative feedback stand in your way. You show them what you're made of, because you know yourself best.
Listen to yourself.
Yes.
Yeah, and don't be afraid. Very good information, very good advice, and very good beer. So, cheers.
Thank you. Cheers.
We want to thank you for watching Hustle and Heart TV. We certainly hope you enjoyed. Ladies, thank you so much for being on the show.
Thank you.
We're going to enjoy the rest of our beer and conversation, and I'll see you on the next episode. Thanks for watching. When it comes to food, family, and tradition, Atria's is your dining destination. Atria's has a passion for food, and it all starts with our culinary trained chefs. From the made-from-scratch rubs and dressings to the best in the Burr crab cakes, Atria's prides itself in serving honest and real food. Come and see what makes us different at one of our 8 locations. We're now offering private dining, to-go, and full-service catering. Atria's, we're always changing courses.